I'm sitting in a bus terminal, an empty bus terminal, by the way, in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to be going up to New York City very shortly. I made myself a promise that I was going to go up to New York and visit uh, two exhibits in particular. One is in Chelsea, the other one is on the Lower East Side. One is Lauren Monk's paintings down on Orchard Street, and Mike Cockrell's over at Kent Fine Art. And I just made my mind up. I'm going to go see them both. I've been having some difficulty today because it's raining like buckets on top of everything. I'm trying to reduce my amount of swearing, so pardon me if I didn't say another word more familiar. But buckets it is, and it's been coming down a lot. And it's sort of subsided a little bit now, so I'm hoping that maybe the bus trip up to the city will be a little bit more fortuitous than the car ride up to Kutztown to catch the bus. Now, the reason I do that is because I don't want to leave my car in Reading, in Center City Reading, because, hey, admittedly, Center City Reading is not the greatest place to leave a vehicle for unattended over a number of hours. And besides, it costs less if you go an extra 15 minutes and do that. Well, anyway, enough of that nonsense. People have been asking for testimonials on 9/11, September the 11th, 2001, when we had the attack on the United States in 3 separate locations, in the fields of central Pennsylvania, down in the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and most significantly up in New York City when 2 big planes, jetliners, crashed into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. Well, all right. It's 10 years later, and people are saying, what were you doing at that time? And I had been working, well, actually, that day I wasn't working. I was off that day, and it was a Tuesday, I remember very clearly. And I dropped my daughter off at school, and I came home, actually over to my mother's house. And and my mom's watching television. She's saying, there's something terrible going on up in New York. And I was like what, Mom? Look at the TV. And this was right after the first tower had been struck. And I'm looking at it, and I'm going, oh my God, what's going on here? And I'm looking at an announcer on one of the TV stations. I'm not quite sure which station it was. And he was talking directly into the camera, and he had the Twin Towers in back of him. And then right before my eyes right before my television eyes, a plane flew in back of him and smashed into the other tower. I was like, huh? I said, that, and then he at that time was like, what? And he had to turn around and look at, oh my God, So, as that story went on, it was like the rest of it was just phone calls to people, to my girlfriend, to my work, to, it was just major news. And not that I was doing anything spectacular, I wasn't working on the ground floor, or wasn't in anywhere near New York City at the time. Doesn't mean it didn't affect me as much as it would have anybody else in the country. Of course, when you're standing right underneath it, as massive as it is, and it falls, of course, it's going to leave an undying scar on your psyche. So I had to go up 6 months later while they're still clearing things out and digging things out, and it was still a mess up there. But I don't know. I had to see it. Anyway, That's my little testimonial. So if you want to contribute something like that, is there anything else? Then somebody's coming in. Well, anyway, that's all for now, folks.
Hi, going to Reading or where are you going?